Let's take a look at upper and lower bounds. The lower bound is the smallest value that could round up to the estimated value, while the upper bound is the smallest value that could round up to the next estimated value. So let's take, for instance, 3.6 rounded to one decimal place. Any number from 3.55 up, but not including 3.65, will round to 6. Okay, the reason is that 3.65 round to 3.7, which is outside of, which is beyond our required value of 3.6. Okay, so on the number line, we represent it this way. In terms of inequality, this will mean 3.55 less than or equals to n because it's included, hence 3.55 is shaded, less than 3.65, which approximates to 3.7. So from the above, 3.55 is called the lower bound of 3.6, while 3.65 is called the upper bound. So we quickly take a look at some examples to see how this is done. Now, the first one says we should write down the upper and lower bound for 62.9 to 1 dp. Accuracy is important, 0.1 because it's to 1 dp. So we divide by 2 to give us the highest level of accuracy we could get from that, which is 0.05. Now, for us to get the lower bound, all we need to do is say 62.9 minus our calculated value. So this will give us 62.9 minus 0.05. So that gives us 62.85. So we have the lower bound to be 62.85. Now let's take a look at the upper bound. We simply add 62.9 so we have 62.9 plus 0.05. Okay, so that will give us 62.95. So that gives us 62.95. Excellent. Okay, so it means these are solution for us to write the upper and lower bound for 62. The lower bound is this, while the upper bound is 62.95, which we round up to 62.3. Okay, now let's look at another example. So in terms of writing this in inequality, this will be 62.85 less than or equals to, you can use n to represent values between that range, less than 62.95. So this is the inequality representation of the upper and the lower bound. Okay, let's look at number 2. We are asked to write the upper and lower bound of 2.63 kilograms measured to 3 significant figures. Okay, so measured to 3 significant figures, we can now, from that statement, write our accuracy to be equals to 1, 2, 3. So 3 significant figures ends at this 3, that is 0.01. So our highest level of accuracy must be 0.01 divided by 2, and that gives us 0.005. Okay, so we can now write our lower bound. Lower bound equals to 2.63 minus 0.005. Subtract that, and that gives us 2.625. 2.625. Okay, so that is a lower bound. Now let's look at the upper bound. For the upper bound, we simply add, so that will be 2.63 plus 0.005. 0.005, and that gives us equals to 2.635. Okay, so the inequality representation will be 2.625 less than or equals to n less than equals to 2.635. So this is the procedure. You see 2.625, everything from 2.625 to 2.64 will round down to 2.63. 2.634 will round down to 2.63. Now 2.635 takes this to 2.64, which is more than what is required here. So this is how it is calculated. Now what happens if we are to calculate another parameter? For instance, a rectangle has size of length 7.5 centimeter and width is 3.4 centimeter, each correct to the nearest millimeter. Now we're asked to calculate the upper and lower bound for the area of the rectangle. So first of all, we need to calculate the upper and lower bounds of our length and our width. So the length we see is 7.5 centimeter. Now to the nearest millimeter, that is, we need to find the accuracy. Accuracy is equals to 0.1 centimeter. The reason for this is that we know that 10 millimeters makes 1 centimeter. So 1 millimeter will be equals to 0.1 centimeter. So from here, we'll now say 0.1 divided by 2. So this gives us 0.05 centimeter. So let's also calculate the width. So from here I can calculate the lower band for the length. So let's do this before we calculate the values for the width. The lower bound for the length is 7.5 minus 0.05, which gives us 7.45 centimeter. The upper bound for our length will be 7.5 plus 0.05, and that gives us 7.55 centimeters. So we have a value for the length. So let's see what we get for the width. So for the width is 3.4 centimeter. The accuracy remains 1 millimeter, which is the same thing as 0.1 centimeter. So this is 0.1 centimeter. So we have 0.1 divided by 2, which gives us 0.05 centimeter. So the lower bound we have the lower bound to be equals to 3.4 minus 0.05. Okay, do a simple arithmetic there. That gives us 3.35 centimeters. So this is the lower bound of the width. Okay, so let's look at the upper bound of the width. So the upper bound is equals to, we have 3.4 plus 0.05, which gives us 3.45 centimeter. So this is just the first part of what we are required to do. So the next thing is, the question tells us to calculate the upper and lower bound for the area. So first of all, let me calculate the upper bound for the area of the rectangle. For area of rectangle, we know that the area of a rectangle is equals to the length times the breadth. So all I have to do is insert the values for the upper bound of the length, which is 7.45, multiplied by the upper bound. Okay, upper bound for the length is 7.55. So that's 7.55. Then the upper bound for the width is 3.45. So we multiply this and we see what it gives us. 7.55 times 3.45. That gives us 26.0475. Okay, so we can approximate this to be 26.05 centimeter. Okay, so let's compare the calculation for the lower bound for the area. So we have the lower bound. Lower bound for the area of the rectangle. Okay, so this gives us the length times the breadth. Okay, so the length is, we take the lower bound length, which is 7.45 times the lower bound for the width, which is 3.35. Okay, so we multiply that 7.45 times 3.35. Okay, so that gives us 24.9575. Approximately, this will now be 24.96 centimeter. Okay, so this is a lower band area. Okay, so you see, this is how we carry out calculations for the upper bound as well as the lower bound for any estimated value, as the case may be. In terms of calculating for other parameters given, for instance, we're able to calculate the upper and the lower bound for the area from the length and the weight given. In some questions, we'll be required to calculate volume, we'll be required to calculate surface area. Whatever we are calculating, the procedure remains the same, and it's very easy to find your upper and your lower bounds.